Alright, so here we go with my second attempt at 22.1. The major difference between the two is going to be, are we doing singles for the snatches? I know in general for myself that when I do single rather than touch and go, I generally get a faster score or faster time than if I was to do touch and go. Now everyone's slightly different, but there's going to be a tipping point where touch and go is going to be actually faster. Now a little bit of a spoiler with this, I do beat my score this time around compared to the first time, but it's not by a great deal, and I believe if I was to redo the workout again, doing touch and go, that I could actually improve my time more doing touch and go compared to doing the singles. Watching back my first attempt a few times, my transitions weren't very crisp. My bar facing burpees, I wasn't really pushing the pace on those. I was more just keeping a steady pace, and on the last round also I wasted at least 20 seconds not picking the bar up straight away and chalking up, which I could have definitely got this pretty much the same time that I did this time around doing singles. Now a couple of different factors when you decide to do singles. If you notice here, I've got 15 kilo plates and 5 kilo plates. I found that my normal 20 kilo plates that I normally use, which are the blue ones there, were actually bouncing quite high. So if you watch, once I finish a set of the touch and go reps, on the last one where I dump it, bounces about waist height. Now when you try and do singles and the bar bounces that high, it's actually very difficult to do singles when the bar's that high. I did try another set of 20s. They weren't as bad, but still had quite a bit of bounce on them. These 15s were the best ones that I had available to me, that weren't going to bounce as high, enabling me to grab onto the bar pretty much straight away. Also, if you're very particular about your grip when snatching, singles is not a great idea, because generally your grip's going to be off. You're going to be sort of all over the place with that. So it's definitely a rip and grip style type of strategy, this one. So I said the biggest difference was the touch and go. I also found that I was definitely pushing harder on the burpees. Transitions were faster, so hence why I got a faster time there. So even though my overall time was only a little bit faster, my tiebreaker time was fairly significant, almost a full round faster. So pretty happy with that for the tiebreaker time. Is that going to come into play on the leaderboard a great deal? Not sure. Overall, would like to go on faster, so I wouldn't have to worry about the tiebreaker time, but it is what it is. The other thing that wasn't as smooth this time around were my double unders on my second attempt. I actually tripped up quite a few times. Even on the first, I think broke or tripped 2 or 3 times, and then another 2 or 3 times early on as well. I think towards the later end, I actually managed to get them unbroken, but those first few rounds weren't as crisp. But I still managed to beat my time. As I was mentioning, I was pushing a lot harder on the burpees than I was the first time. I talked about in the first video how I'd done a lot of work on trying to keep the burpees the same and making sure that I was alternating legs so I wasn't fatiguing one side. When I push myself really hard on those, I tend to sort of muck that up a little bit. I tend to favour the left side, so you might notice that I step forward with my left foot a little bit more, and that's just due to the fact that I'm trying to push as hard as I can, or not focusing too much on alternating. But still, there's only a few times that I did that, so overall quite consistent, more than usual, so quite pleased with the training that I've done on that. Also, just a side note, I think it was around 4 or 5, I sort of tweaked my right wrist a little bit. Nothing serious or nothing that caused any difference in the actual workout itself, but it was definitely something that I had to be aware of when snatching. I just come down too hard on one of the burpees on one of the on my right side, which did, I had to think about during the workout. So whether that affected it a great deal, probably not, but something that I've got to be mindful of when trying to push on the burpees, not to obviously come down too hard on the wrists. So this is the last set here. My legs were significantly heavier the second time around on the last set. So notice how I got to the bar similar time on the touch and go, but stopped, chalked, and then proceeded to grab onto the bar. So definitely, if I was to do it again, I would probably go touch and go and focus on things like pushing harder on the burpees and the transitions. So overall, it depends on you and what you're used to, I guess.